So when I first started, I used to be super anxious about it. I used to hate being on stage. I used to hate public speaking. I used to hate doing all of this stuff. I used to hate attention. And what I learned was like I had to put myself in those uncomfortable situations to get more comfortable with it. And what's funny is like I'll have chats with people. I got a great friend of mine who is booking in a lot of public speaking gigs recently, and her and I are working together to kind of help her get more comfortable on stage. And the way I felt back then was like I wish somebody just sat me down and said, "Hey, you're going to suck initially, but it's cool because you'll learn. Like you'll get better, and you've just got to be okay with letting it wash off, right?" So, if you suck and people give you like a really bad review when you speak, don't let it drag you down and feel horrible. Take what they're saying, kind of work on what you're doing, pivot, and just evolve and get better.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Property Management Podcast. Thank you so much for having me in your ears. And today we're diving into something that can truly transform the way we connect with others, grow our businesses, and unlock new opportunities. And that something is energy. Now, energy is contagious. It shapes how we're perceived, how we engage with others, and ultimately how successful we are in everything that we do. And I have a special guest today who knows exactly how to harness and leverage energy to create real impact and drive results. Joining me today is the amazing Jason Colbey from Tapi, who brings energy to every aspect of his life, whether it's through high energy sales and marketing, hosting unforgettable events, or even giving back to the community. With over 15 years of experience in the real estate and prop tech spaces, Jason has built a reputation as a trusted advisor, thought leader, and someone who knows exactly how to build real connection that sparks real growth. He's currently the head of franchise partnerships at Tapi, although his bio says he's the head of excitement. And he helps property managers across Australia and New Zealand simplify and streamline maintenance while reigniting their passion for the industry. And when he's not working his magic in business, he's lighting up stages as a professional MC and event host, bringing unstoppable energy to any room, whether it's 50 people or 5,000 people. So today we're going to talk about how energy can be the secret ingredient to attracting opportunities and making a lasting impact in your career. So please join me in welcoming the incredible Jason Colbey to the show. Jason, thank you so much for joining me on the Property Management Podcast. I really feel like I've got to lift my energy game today, having somebody as amazing as you. The Chief Excitement Officer at Tapi is in the room, is on the podcast. Jason, for
I
anyone
love
who
it.
doesn't know you, which I'm sure there's not many people that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you've ended up as the Chief Excitement Officer at Tapi.
Can I
How
tell you
started.
something? I love the fact that this mock title that I gave myself on LinkedIn has just taken off. Like I think it's the funniest thing in the world. Like it's amazing how many times people say Chief Excitement Officer. What does that entail? And it's like, guys, I literally manage partnerships. I just bring a level of excitement that I'm known for, which is why I decided to pop that title in as a bit of a joke. But no, I have been in the space for a very long time. Started off a very long time ago in property management, and just I am open in saying I could not handle the job. So I lasted about 3 years in property management, got out of it, and then have only ever really kind of been in salesy roles where I'm benefiting property managers because I know how hard their job is and how little time they have in their week to do everything at a certain level in their job. So I made sure that if I couldn't be one, I was going to do everything I can to help them. So yeah, that's now at Tarpey, been here for 2 years, managed the franchise partnerships here, which is fantastic. And it means I get to keep dealing with property managers, which is awesome, getting them excited about maintenance. That's what it's all about.
Well, it's not the most exciting topic, but I think you do very well in terms of bringing excitement to the maintenance topic. So, what does energy mean to you? And we're not talking about maintenance today. We're talking about
Yeah.
the amazing energy that you bring to every room that you're in. And I've been in a lot of rooms that you've been in, and you are always there. You're always on point. So, what does energy actually mean to you, and how do you think it impacts the way people perceive you?
Oh, absolutely. So I I look at energy as kind of like just positivity ramped up to 1,000. And what I've come to learn in a very long time is that energy is super contagious. And if you are highly energetic around people, and the way I do it is I'm a very sarcastic person. I don't take anything seriously. Like I like to laugh about everything and turn everything into a joke. And what's amazing is when you've got that level of excitement and that energy about you, everybody seems to just latch onto it and it rubs off on them. So somebody could be having the worst day ever, but all of a sudden they get a bit of a pick me up being around a group of energetic people or even just one energetic person. And they kind of tend to move away from that negative part of their day and kind of focus on really just enjoying themselves. And that's what I love. Like, that's what I love about being super energetic. It's just it helps people enjoy parts of their day that they might not be enjoying. And then all of a sudden, this person's come in and super high energy and lots of jokes and lots of laughs. And they kind of forget about that and just really kind of boosts their own energy themselves, which I think is awesome.
Which I think the industry and property management needs a lot more of.
I agree.
Yeah, it can be very negative,
Yeah.
and there's a lot more negative vibes, I guess, than positive vibes. And is this energy something that you have consciously have to bring, or is it just an unconscious thing? It's just who you are. You've always been that really annoying person who jumps out of bed in the morning
Yeah, that's
and
me.
is
Yeah.
like on is yeah, like give me a coffee and then we can talk. That's me. But you're are you that person that's just out of bed, let's go, or
Oh,
or do you have to work on it?
to be honest with you, no. I mean, I wake up really early every day. So, like, I wake up super early every day for the pure purpose of having a couple of hours before life kicks in to go for a walk, read a book, kind of do whatever. I am super, like, I try to be super energetic everywhere I go. And it's not so much that I'm always on and conscious that, oh, I have to be energetic for X, Y, or Z. It's more so it comes back to kind of my personality where I like to entertain people. I like to make people laugh. And that's where it comes back to because what I found is my energy level, like when it all first kind of kicked off and I realized that this is kind of who I had to be in certain areas, my energy level was something where it was like, I have to do this. I have to do this. Now I like doing it because it makes me feel really good and everybody around me. But I never have to actually turn it on. What's great is I have to turn it off. That's the funny thing, where it's like, I can be super energetic and just like this all the time. And then I'll hop in a car after an event and have a 2 hour drive back to wherever I've got to be. And I've got to kind of balance myself to be quiet in the car, not kind of be over the top, not want to talk. It sounds really weird to say, but not want to talk to anybody. Kind of just find that balance where you bring it back down, you level yourself out, you kind of realign yourself, and then you're ready to just go the next day.
Well, it's exhausting. Like it is,
It is.
when you are, I know I've been on stage a few times and it's not my favorite thing in the world to do, but I know those few times that I have, the energy that it takes out of
Yeah,
you, I'm exhausted afterwards. It's like you've got to go and sit in a dark room in a fetal position and restore your energy.
100%.
That sounds dramatic, but that's exactly how I feel, and that's what I really want to do. And for me, I mean, it's not my comfort zone at all. And you've seen me how terrified I am every time I get up there, but I do it for the point
Yeah.
of giving and sharing. But you don't seem to have that level of anxiety or stress or fear around it. What about when you actually let's talk about what about when you go onto a stage or in a room or into an
Yep.
office and the energy is really bad and it's
Oh,
negative and
yep.
how do you respond to that? Because I guess this is relatable to property managers as well when they're having an annoying, angry tenants or landlords. How do you shift somebody else's energy?
So there are different ways that I've learned how to do it. And what's funny is you mentioned like you don't seem like that person who's anxious. I used to be like a long time ago. So when I got out of the property management space, which is a space where you have to be highly analytical. You've always got to be thinking of what the next conversation is going to be. Like kind of always got to be that 4 or 5 steps ahead. And you get into a sales role where it's like, okay, I've got to walk into wherever and get somebody excited about a product or a service and convince them to spend money, right? So when I first started, I used to be super anxious about it. I used to hate being on stage. I used to hate public speaking. I used to hate doing all of this stuff. I used to hate attention. And what I learnt was like I had to put myself in those uncomfortable situations to get more comfortable with it. And what's funny is like I'll have chats with people. I got a great friend of mine who is booking in a lot of public speaking gigs recently, and her and I are working together to kind of help her get more comfortable on stage. And the way I felt back then was like I wish somebody just sat me down and said, "Hey, you're going to suck initially, but it's cool because you'll learn. Like you'll get better, and you've just got to be okay with letting it wash off, right?" So, if you suck and people give you like a really bad review when you speak, don't let it drag you down and feel horrible. Take what they're saying, kind of work on what you're doing, pivot, and just evolve and get better. And it's amazing how like now when I walk into a room, I've done it for so long that the most important thing for me is to actually get a gauge of everybody in the room. So if you do walk in and they're super negative, there's a reason why. So kind of test the waters. Like I said, I joke about everything. And I'm at that point where like nothing phases me. So if I joke about something and get nothing, I don't shut down or get anxious about the situation or anything like that. I'll pivot and try something else. And at some point somebody will show a sign of, it sounds horrible to say breaking, but they'll break that negative kind of mindset or that negative vibe that's in the room, and you can kind of leverage off that. But what I found is like for me, and it'll be different for everybody because everybody has different superpowers, but for me sarcasm is the fastest icebreaker, because I will literally walk into any room and say, like you mentioned it before, maintenance is not the most exciting thing to speak about. I'll walk into any room and say, "Hey guys, maintenance, get excited. This is what it's all about." And people will have a laugh because they do. They're like, "Oh, what an idiot. Like this guy's genuinely excited about maintenance or tax depreciation or property data or whatever." And they kind of tend to ease up a little bit. And then from that, it's more about like asking questions, getting them to open up. Some people will open up super quickly and some people will take time. It's just about really taking your time with that conversation to get them as comfortable with you as possible.
So, do you have some really simple daily practices that you use to ensure that you're showing up with your positive, high energy vibe each day? And I guess it also relates to your family as well. You've got young kids.
I do.
I know you're a great role model for them. So talk to me about sort of some of the stuff that you do. And then I guess on the other end of that spectrum, the stuff that you do to like as you said, when you're in the car after you've
Mhm.
been to an event or a meeting, what do you do then to reground yourself and get back your energy stores? Are you feeling overwhelmed and thinking about selling your rent roll? Don't worry, you're not alone, and HDNU is here to help. Whether you're ready to sell now or you just want to plan for the future, the friendly and approachable team at HDNU makes the process simple and stress-free. Hello, yes please. With over 30 years of expertise, they're not just about crunching the numbers. They genuinely care about helping you maximize your agency's value and get the best outcome for you. Their sales readiness bundle is like having a trusted advisor by your side. They'll work closely with you to assess your agency's key factors, create an easy to understand heat map of your strengths and opportunities, and then sit down with you for a 90-minute workshop to guide you on what to do next. They'll look at everything from rent roll earnings and rent arrears to compliance and team performance and explain it all in plain English. If you're planning to sell soon, HDNU can even handle the whole process for you, from finding qualified buyers to negotiating the deal. Their friendly, professional team takes the stress out of selling so you can feel confident every step of the way. And to get started, simply book in a meeting with the team today. Their link is in the show notes. They're here to help you move forward with confidence. Let's be real. Compliance is one of the biggest challenges in property management, and it can be overwhelming to navigate. It's time-consuming, stressful, and let's face it, one missed compliance check could lead to serious legal and financial risks, and no one wants that. That's where Sensor Insure comes in. Powered by smart sensor technology, it offers highly competitive building and landlord insurance, bundled with an ecosystem of smart safety devices. These include tamper-proof smoke alarms and water leak detectors with automated remote testing and a 24/7 accessible audit trail. Yes, you heard me right. Sensor Ensure is a game changer. It's always on and integrates seamlessly with your trust platform to streamline processes and provides live reporting across your entire rental portfolio. This ensures you're always meeting compliance requirements, giving you total peace of mind. No more waking up in the middle of the night stressed or worried that you've missed something or your team has missed something. So whether you're looking to improve your processes and efficiency, reduce stress, or protect your agency from risk, Sensor Ensure has you covered. You really should see how it works. I totally encourage you to book in a free demo today by heading to sensorglobal.com or the show notes to learn more about their solutions and how they can transform your compliance game.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that I find I do to kind of get myself in the right frame of mind, and I mean, everybody does, like everybody has stresses every day and all the rest of that stuff. Like there are times where you'll go to bed, you wake up the next day and there's still something kind of weighing on your mind and all the rest of that. So it's part of the reason why I have my morning routine kind of sets me up for my day. And the morning routine is, and it's funny too, because I read the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma, and I swore I would never wake up at 5 a.m. after reading that book. I'm like, nobody ever does. Like, who needs 5 a.m.? We'll do 6. That'll be enough time. I wake up every day now at 4:45 because I really enjoy the 2 and a bit hours before like everybody wakes up and it's go, go, go for school and for work and all the rest of that. But what I found works really well for me is I love that quiet time where I will listen to a podcast for half an hour, 45 minutes while I'm going for a walk. I come back and journaling is something that I picked up. Well, I won't say picked up. I tried lots of times over the years and just never really got into it. I made a conscious effort to do it this year. And so I wake up and I'll journal and just basically put my intentions for the day. So I write down anything that may have kind of annoyed me the day before and then kind of get that off my chest and focus on the day and what my intentions are for the day. So like I've got this meeting and I'm going to bring the energy here and I've got this going on and going to pick my kids up and I know they've got an assembly today. So when I pick them up, we're going to be super excited about their assembly and things like that. So we'll map that stuff out. And that'll kind of put me in a right frame of mind. That walk, this is, I mean, everybody would be different, but it's funny to say that the way I get my headspace right for a full day of energy is to be the least energetic person ever for about 45 minutes, where I will walk and literally feel nothing. Like I will listen to a podcast that'll either be something that I want to learn or just something that is absolute mind rot, which will be like a comedian's podcast where you literally just listening to have a bit of a giggle. I'll do that. So when I take the headphones out and I go to journal, it's like I haven't thought about work. I haven't thought about anything in the last 45 minutes. Now everything's flooding back in, and the intention is, all right, we're going to journal now. So let's think about this. Let's think about how we can get over that. And let's think about kind of how we're going to focus on the day. And then at the end of the day, it's much the same. You need that reset time. You need to just be quiet. I've done events where I've gotten home and quite literally just said, hey, I'm just going to sit on the couch and watch a TV show for 45 minutes. Day went great. Everything was well. Just need half an hour to kind of reset. That drive home after events too is a massive win because it's the same deal. Put on something that is just either going to be music that doesn't invoke thoughts or a podcast that does not invoke any thoughts. And then just for that 40, I mean, I'm in Melbourne, so bare minimum, it's 45 minutes to get anywhere. So I've got that at least 45 minutes to just sit quiet, not speak to anybody, and just really kind of reset and gather my thoughts on the day.
Amazing. I have very similar morning routine to you as
Yeah.
well. I think it's moving your body. I don't say exercise. I say just moving, whether it's
Yeah.
just even, sometimes I even just stretch on the floor and then, yeah, journaling. I do a bit of meditation as well. Hot lemon drink is also part of before I have my massive cup of coffee. So yes, it's really important to have that. And I only actually I didn't do that when my kids were little younger and I'm going through I just felt like my whole day was always off. I was just
Yeah.
always in that frantic, chaotic energy, getting kids out the door, in the
Yeah.
car, off to school. Then I took that into the workplace, and my
Oh,
workplace
that's
was
it.
always chaotic and crazy. And I mean, I was running a business that I had no idea what I was doing, and a property management business. I had knew nothing about property management. B, I knew nothing about running a business, running teams, managing. Anyway, it was a shit show. Um,
Yeah.
and I've openly said that multiple times. And I wish I had have got known about morning routines and read books
Yeah.
like the 5 a.m. Club a lot earlier. But anyone that's listening and you're feeling like you're frantic of a morning, get up a little bit earlier. Doesn't even have to
Oh, that's
be
it.
5 a.m. It can be just half an hour earlier before your kids get up, and then
Yeah.
start your day.
Exactly right. Well, that's what I was doing. Like, I read the book and I quite literally remember saying to my wife, like, says to wake up at 5 a.m. F that. I'm not waking up at 5 a.m. Like, I don't need to do that. So I started waking up at 6, right? So I thought I'll get out of bed an hour earlier. That'll give me enough time to go for a walk or go for a run or do whatever. Then I'll come home and I'll be ready for the day. And kind of the reason why it's gotten to this 4:45 seems to be the perfect time for me is because it gives me enough time to do everything I want to do in that block before, like you said, it is a frantic, it's like you flick a switch, isn't it? You flick a switch and then it's like knocking on doors, like, come on, guys, got to go to school, wake up, come on, let's go. You guys have got to have breakfast, you got to get dressed, let's go. I've got to jump in the shower. We've got like the minute that time hits where you've got to start waking everybody up for the day to begin, it ramps up from 0 to 100.
It does. It's crazy. I had four of them, so
Oh,
yeah, and
I've
three
only got
boys.
two.
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Girls
Yeah,
are easy. Girls, in my experience, girls are easier. She would just from a little girl, she was just so
yeah,
super organized. But yeah, my three boys are all exactly the same. Totally unorganized. Always forgetting lunch boxes, forgetting their afternoon training kit. Oh,
yeah.
anyway, my last one's in year 12, so
Oh, wow.
nearly
That's
done.
fantastic. Almost
Yes,
done.
yes. And I'm sure once that chapter's over, I'll be very sad. But what about let's talk about energy and how it can work in the workplace.
Yeah,
And in terms of attracting clients, I think a lot of people listen to this podcast for the growth support for their businesses, amongst
yeah.
other things, I'm hoping. But yeah, and I guess this you use it daily. You're in a growth role in your business. So how do you think that plays out and how do you use that to your advantage?
Absolutely. So it really all comes down to kind of it being contagious. So what I found is that if you walk into those meetings, if you're responding to an email inquiry, if you're sending out an email, a really great example I had was I was trying to reach out to this group to partner with this group, could never get in contact with the person. Like I tried to call, couldn't get through, sent a couple of emails, couldn't work. And everybody does, and we can all be honest here. Everybody jumps on ChatGPT and tries to map out the most perfect email to send somebody that they think is going to get the best response. So I had done that a couple of times and nothing was working. So I quite literally sat at my computer and wrote an email in the way that I speak. And it was the funniest thing ever. It was like, hey, hope you're having the best Tuesday ever. I'm just reaching out because this is what we want to do. And I'd love to have 5 minutes to have a chat with you. And sent this in. I thought, bugger it. Like, we've tried everything. This is the last kind of ditch effort. We'll give it a go. Fast forward about 3 days, I was driving at a phone call and I answer my phone the same way, which is always like, hey, Jason speaking. And oh, hey, it's blah, blah, blah from the company I wanted to partner with. And I was like, oh, I am so excited you gave me a call. Been waiting for this call. How are you? Like, I was super excited to hear from this person. And her exact words were, oh my God, you speak like your email reads. And I was like, oh, is that a good thing? And she goes, the only reason why I gave you a call. So- and I thought that was awesome. Like I literally had a giggle and was like, great. So it's not too overwhelming for you. I'm not going to annoy you. Let's have that chat. And like it's just what I love about that in what we do is that there is nothing. I mean, we've all been sold to, like, everybody has had a telemarketer call you and be like, hey, I'm calling on behalf of the blah, blah, blah. I want to talk about your health insurance. And you just get bored with the conversation. Like, you shut it down immediately. Whereas I can call and say, hey, it's Jason calling and give me 20 seconds. I'm going to get you excited about maintenance. Everybody goes, what an idiot. Here we go. All right, come on, give us a crack. And like, that's how you can have that conversation. And they'll say to you, like, mate, this guy will walk in and bounce off the walls. And we loved it. And it's like, that's all I want to hear. And don't get me wrong, there are some people that do not love it. I am not for everybody. I am okay to admit that. Like, My level of excitement and energy is not for everybody, and that's okay. And that's where you've got to kind of learn how to kind of read that person, whether it's on the phone, emails too. A lot of people, you can sense a really strong tone in emails. You've got to be able to kind of sense it to go in with kind of setting the right tone. And I still believe that you should always approach every situation with that energy, but whether that's 20%, 50%, or 100% really depends on the person you speak. Yeah, so that's one thing that I find works really well is when you walk in with that genuine level of excitement, people are intrigued as to why you're excited. And they're like, oh, I want to hear what this person has to say. Might not be for me, but if it's making him this excited, I want to know why it is. And they'll sit there and they'll listen because when it comes to business, I mean, we're all in sales roles, whether you own a company or whatever, but everybody's role is to get more business for that company, right? And the hardest part of getting that business is getting somebody to listen to you. So if you can pique their interest immediately, and that might not even be with what you're doing, it might just be like, wow, this person sounds sickly happy. I want to know why they're so happy. Be like, yeah, great, let's have a chat. And then that's kind of where that leads in, which I think is fantastic. And it's the same as being on stage. Like I'll jump up on stage and the first thing I'll say is like a really kind of sarcastic quote or a sarcastic statistic, just something that'll get people to say, oh, this guy's like so full of energy and I'm so keen to see what he has to say next. You're just like, great, let's talk about maintenance. And everybody, will be like, oh, he wants to talk about maintenance. That's okay. We'll still give him a chance. And they will listen. And that's what it is. You've just got to take whatever it is that you're doing, and it can be those difficult conversations, whatever it is. You've got to be able to have that energy where they want to be able to have the conversation, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent.
I think that is amazing advice for everybody
Yeah.
listening. And because it's very relatable as well when you are having those, you're going to have an awkward, cranky conversation with a landlord. And this is something that I practiced myself. I'd always smile
Yeah.
before I pick up the phone, and I'd put that happiness because you automatically opens up. I don't know what it does, but it opens up everything, and they can hear the smile. Just
Absolutely.
letting you know, I just have to run this past you. It's not ideal, but here's the solution that I've got for you. Let's go.
It
Let's have the
it
conversation.
works perfectly.
Yeah.
It's amazing how a smile can come through on a phone call. It is amazing how you'll say to people like, "Hey, just smile before you get on the phone." I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. And it's like, no, genuinely smile because when you speak, it comes through in your tone. And I love that. I love it.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's all really valuable, doable things that we can all do. Just little energy shifts, and even just starting your day with that journaling practice, or that
Yeah.
even if you're just writing, I am going to bring the energy today.
Oh,
I'm going to be happy today. I'm going to smile today.
100%.
Those little things I think will work. Now, I've got a closing tradition on this podcast where my guest leaves a personal development tool for the audience. I know you've already
Yeah.
shared your morning routine, but is there anything else that you can, a book, podcast,
Oh,
something that you would like to share?
absolutely. So there is one bit of advice I will give for podcast guys. If you're in the wind down phase of your day, find a podcast that is, I say mind numbing, and I don't mean that as in boring. I mean, so I listen to, it's a podcast called Flagrant with Andrew Schultz. He's a comedian. It is literally just a bunch of inappropriate comedians cracking really dumb jokes for 3 hours. And that is all right for me because I don't think about anything when they speak. I just have a bit of a giggle with half the stuff that they say and literally clears my mind, right? But when it does come to kind of books and things like that, one of the best books I ever read, which got me really excited to be on stage, is a book called Talk Like TED by Carmine Gallo. He is the brains behind TED Talks and wrote a book kind of analyzing, I think it was the top seven or so highly rated TED Talks and what they all had in common, like telling stories, the energy at the start of this, and starting everything with a random statistic to get people hooked. Really great little kind of tidbits, tricks, and kind of insights. And the book is not overwhelming at all. It is a really easy read. And I loved every part of that.
What was
The
that called
last
again?
bit
I'm
of
going to write that
advice.
down.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. So it's called Talk Like TED,
Talk like TED. Okay.
Carmine Gallo. It is an awesome book. They'll also, as you're reading the book, it kind of shifts you to a secondary book, which has the longest name in the world, and I can't remember it. It's like 13 storytelling techniques for the best TED Talk, whatever it is, right? And the book's literally that big, right? And I read that little book, was like, yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Oh, I'm not doing that. That's great. Oh, yeah, doing that, doing that. So it was a really quick read, but those two books are the reason why I love getting on stage. And it's kind of helped me go from being anxious before I get on stage to, all right, I did it. That didn't go too well, but I can pivot that, change it to this. And then the next time you go, oh, all of that was really great, but this didn't go too well. So I'll pivot that as well. And it got me to a point now where it's like I can kind of pivot on stage if I know things aren't working well. So read those books. They were great. But the best advice ever is self-affirmation. I am all for telling you how amazing you are every single day. I end every one of my journal entries with, if I am me, I will succeed, because I know how amazing I am, and that's all I need to do. I don't have to change to be anything I need to be. I know my strengths, my weaknesses, where I can excel, and what my superpowers are. So I will literally end every journal entry with those words. If I am me, I will succeed.
Amazing. I
Yeah.
love that so much. Thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom and knowledge and energy with us today. I am really grateful to have you on the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This has been awesome. Long time coming, and I'm stoked that we finally got to do it.
Thank you. If you're ready to be a super organised, focused and productive property manager, buckle up, because Colmeo is about to revolutionise the way that you work. Colmeo is the driving force behind property management excellence in residential real estate. Now picture this, a comprehensive end-to-end system designed to be the beating heart of your property management tasks, manage your properties, owners and tenants, and handle payments, inspections, and even marketing listings without leaving the platform. Colmeo is designed to be an all-in-one solution to all your property management needs. And here's the game changer. Colmeo isn't just software. It's been awarded the most innovative prop tech scale up in 2023. Yes, you heard it right. Colmeo has been recognised for their groundbreaking approach to property management software. How good is that? So property managers, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, dive into the future of property management with Colmeo. You can book in a demo with the team today and go in their weekly draw for a Prezi gift card worth $100. All you need to do is to head to the link colmeo.com/thatpropertymum, and Colmeo is KOLMEO. Can I ask you a quick favour before you leave this episode? Now, we all know how important reviews are for businesses these days, and mine is no different. If you could spare just a minute to follow, rate and review this podcast, it would mean a lot to me. In fact, what would get me super excited is if you share this podcast with someone in the industry who you think might need to hear some of the episodes right now. And if you'd like to find out more about working with me or any of the products I have to help you start, grow or scale your property management business, head to my website, thatpropertymum.com.au, or check out the links in the show notes.